All right, I was a bit discombobulated because I had things on the wrong screens. So, how are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. As you can see, I have my Mac computer tally up there. But starting tomorrow, don't forget, we are starting with Black Friday. I need to sell a bunch of candles, so we need to buy some candles. Tomorrow night I can give you a heads up. A lot of them are going to be drink candles that I haven't even put on the website. It's going to be exclusive to go away. It's going to be exclusive to Black Friday specials. We got pina colada, we got a bunch of them, and they're really good. So we need to sell a bunch. And not for the Mac, for other reasons, but you guys grab some popcorn. It's gonna be a long night. Get down. It's gonna be a long night. I originally was only touching on flavor versus nonsense because I think it's absolutely fucking hysterical. But then I got sidetracked listening to another live that I had to address. I also want to put a disclaimer on this live that you may hear me stick up for people that I don't like. So I'm not sticking up for them because I like them. I'm not sticking up with them because I'm friends with them again. I'm not sticking up for them for any other reason than I just couldn't believe the fucking hypocrisy that I was hearing and the blatant bullshit. And it was kind of funny, but we're going to get there. But first thing I want to say, so for some reason, I think I'm in their lives like maybe once a year. I mean, once a month, if that. Well, maybe a little more. I'd say 3 times a month. I'm in Queen Bee's lives. I have had a membership to her under 2 different channels for like the last 6 months, 7 months. So I get to see, everything she puts on members. But she did a poll tonight, and one of the answers I thought were phenomenal. Is my chat not working? I don't see anybody typing. Did the chat stop working? And one of the comments I thought was fantastic. So let me show you what it was. Hold on. So she put up a poll basically saying, do you like the memberships? Should I continue doing memberships? Do you like the memberships? So a mystical Magnolia writes, yes, even though I'm a paying member, I love all the gifted memberships. It helps others become familiar with the Hive and sends a positive message to our community. Much love and support. I thought that was an excellent, excellent response. Hold on. Let me get the dog out of here. Come on. Out. All right. I thought that was an excellent response for why people should do memberships. I just thought it was good. So, all right. Let's get into this. Because, like I said, grab some popcorn. It's going to be a while. Let's start with, oh, I forgot to pull it up. Shit. I was listening to Flavor before. And Flavor's another one who has gone real life in the past, who's done shit that she regrets, has done a lot worse than I've ever done. And she admits it, and she knows it. And someone jumped on her panel, and what she said was fucking amazing. And I really want to start with that, but it's going to take me a second to find it, so bear with me. I can't believe I didn't have it ready. I was too busy recording the other one just in case she deleted it. The flavor. Hey, Bad Wolf. She better not have gotten rid of it. All right, she didn't.
Yeah.
Hold on. It was towards the end of her stream. All right. So listen to what Possum says. It was so good. It's only a couple minutes, but it's so worth hearing. Hold on. And it's kind of like a great way to start the live. Whoop, wrong screen. All right.
Contact with his mother. My husband is a Marine, and it wasn't. But I saw the police report, and I'm like, this isn't right. Police report with completely different dates. Called and got the police report.
Right.
So
like
I know
it was just a report.
The case is closed. There's no evidence. There was no evidence at all submitted. It was a lie, and she still kept hemming and hawing all around about it. But if you read through it, if you get a, I also see where Dre was trying to protect her husband. Family drama is messy to begin with. Even the closest of families have messy drama, you know. But I just, with the awful people involved in the mess, she could have nipped it in the bud. She knew what he loved his mama. He put his credit on the line for it. I mean, he screwed his the whole other mess. But in their situation, it probably could have been worked out. But that just added to the woman's stress.
Yeah.
Because bottom line, she lost her kid. And why would anybody think that that's okay? Why would anybody closet that she thought she had moved past, that she was working to move past, that whatever got drug up, thrown in her face, police reports filed on her? No, I'm not talking about from you. I'm talking about from like nonsense, from Danielle, from whoever. That stuff should have been apologized for. Period.
Yep. I know I apologize to her. I apologize to her. I apologize to
All right, this is it. Listen.
Molly for calling her son school. I made my apologies. So, you know.
And I know that I've had, you know, I've heard people make claims about, you know, your past, whatever. I personally have, like I said, my career was in law enforcement and the judicial system. I'm also an addict in recovery. And you know what? I'm glad I'm an addict in recovery, because in my career, I had a chip on my shoulder. I spent my career with a chip on my shoulder about drug addicts and believing that a drug addict belonged behind bars. Had I not gone through that, had I not gone through my own addiction and my own recovery, I would have never changed. I'm the daughter of a cop. I also changed my dad's mind. So, you know, there are lessons to be learned in the mistakes that we make in life.
It is.
And if people if people can never allow you to close the door on that, and become the person that you are now, that's them. That's not on you. You know? And I've seen it across the board on YouTube lately. It's like, just when things start to quiet down and people are staying in their own corners, and if you don't like somebody and they stay over there and it's fine, drama gets brought back up again and it gets ugly again. And it's like, why? What purpose does this serve? You know, why?
It don't serve no purpose.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Even, for example, I'll use Michelle as an example. She was gone for a week and nobody was talking about her. Nobody was saying a dang word about her. Nobody cared. What does she do? She gets on and starts being ugly again. Why? Because she likes that. She likes
the negative attention. She does.
Yes, she absolutely does. And it's gross. It's sad to me. But like for you, for example, I know that you have a past. Well, guess what? I have a past too. I would hazard a guess that everybody on this platform, or at least 95% of the people on this platform, have a past. So what? We are a product of our past. And if we turn it around and make changes, good for us. If we don't, maybe we will eventually. But it's nobody's job to make us answer for that. We're going to have to do that ourselves.
Nope. You 100% right.
But I just wanted to, basically, I came up here to explain this.
And that hit me today like a ton of bricks, because she's right. People want to bring up your past over and over and over, and things you've done in the past over and over and over. For what? Like, let it go. Shut the door, let it go, and move the fuck on. So when she said it today, I was like, oh my God, I love this girl. Absolutely fucking love this girl. All right, we'll get back to flavor. I just wanted you guys to hear that. Oh, also, I want to, before I pull this other thing up, to moderator, the scammer, Vinny, or whatever the fuck his name is. Anytime you want to call the school and find out, it's University of Cincinnati, year 2012 to 2013. You can find out my name that I used back then, what my name was that went to school, and you could call the fucking school and find out that I went for my master's. And there you go. There's all your information, moderator. So you can stop leaving stupid ass fucking comments that you know nothing about in my comment section. Because at no point last night did I ever say that I finished my master's. Everybody knows that I dropped out. But feel free to call the school and find out if I was enrolled there for my master's in criminal justice from 2012 to 2013. Be my motherfucking guest. I got nothing to hide. Go fuck yourself and your bullshit. Okay, so I just had to get that out of the way. So we'll get back to the flavor nonsense stuff. But I was watching something else. Where did I put it? All right, here it is. Okay. So we're going to start with the HOA. I could not believe the fucking hypocrisy that I am hearing. Do they not hear themselves? You guys will understand once you start hearing it. And honestly, not so much Deets. I don't remember Deets doing certain things. I could be wrong, but I really don't remember Deets doing these things that we're going to discuss.
I don't know about everybody else, but this morning we obviously all woke up to clips and streams and shit like that. This won't be so much about the subject of those streams, because honestly, it's none of our fucking business.
Period.
I just have one
None of our
question.
business, and not one person who has spoke on this thus far actually gives a fuck enough about said person to care enough to even speak on if they're doing something, if they're not doing something.
Okay, so if you're clueless and you don't know what this is about, let me explain. Brittany J went, I don't know, she was live or something yesterday. I don't know the whole story, but Brittany J was live or something and drove by somebody's house, drove by a doctor's office or went to a doctor's office, and somebody blew it up like the drama community does. They blew it up and they found out that it was a methadone clinic, and Queen Bee had a few choice words about it. So the whole HOA in the community is freaking the fuck out that, oh my God, she spoke on it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't want to shoot too early, so let's just listen a little more.
So I just want to make that very clear. Not one live stream has been to bring awareness, to help, get help, like all the other.
Okay, I understand that pot is legal in many states, but as an addict, pot is still a drug. So when I see creators that are high every time they go live, I don't think they should be giving advice to another addict about getting sober or trying to help. They can't even help themselves. And it doesn't matter if it's legal. Alcohol's legal too. But if you're an alcoholic, then you can't sit there having a drink telling someone else what they should be doing. So I understand that Nunya's not an addict or anything. She says that in a little bit, that she's not an addict. But Queen Bee and most of this fucking community are a bunch of stoners. So who the fuck are they to give advice to anybody anyway? Just saying.
Bullshit you want to put out there.
And this
That's
one won't be
fucking
either, by the way. Just saying. But
Say it again.
I said this one won't be either. But
No.
I have one question. What the fuck is wrong with you all? Like, has everybody on YouTube lost their damn mind? Maybe it's not YouTube. It might be like all social medias, but it just seems like everybody is going back and forth, tit for tat, who can go lower than the next, justifying their actions.
What the fuck's
It's
wrong
just
with
getting
y'all?
grosser and grosser. Why? Like, what the fuck?
And it's like Nunya said, not a damn one of y'all out here shaming people for possible, now let's not forget that part, possible addiction problems. I mean, you can feel how you feel, but to shame someone, and it's not like y'all are the ones donating to her.
Okay, I'll be nice because it's Jonesin's birthday. Happy birthday, Jonesin. But you've got to be fucking kidding me. Do you want me to get the videos that you all shamed Marissa when you all thought she was on pills? Because you all sat up there and shamed the fuck out of her and had no problem doing so. Make it make sense.
It's not like y'all are the ones.
Excluding Deets. I don't think she was sitting on Queen Bee's panel during this. But the other two were.
Donating to her channel. You know, it's like you're not feeding her, you're not fucking her, and you're not financing her. Mind your motherfucking business. It's for her family.
Jonesin, doesn't that apply to Queen Bee's donations? Doesn't that apply to what Queen Bee makes? I mean, you're sitting here saying that it's you're not fucking her, you're not feeding her. Well, either Savage isn't fucking or feeding QB, but she talks about her numbers all the time. You sat on Queen Bee's panel shaming Molly nonstop when she was in Georgia. You had no problem then. What else? You guys talk about shit with, or you're in chats or your friends or somebody. Whenever Molly was high, when people talk about QB, you're right there. They're not fucking her, they're not paying her, and it's none of their fucking business.
And her friends to deal with, not yours. And to come out here and shame and exploit a situation that you don't even know is 100% fact is a fucking problem. And it speaks more about your trash asses than anybody else.
Does that apply to you with Molly? Does that, I mean, or is it only for certain people when you're mad at certain people? Because y'all fucking shame Betty nonstop. Non-fucking stop. You've talked about her hair. You've talked about her looks. You've talked about her drinking. You've talked about every fucking aspect of Betty's life gets destroyed. Not, and this comes in further on, but not just Betty and the things she does. It's escalated, and it escalated 2 years ago. This isn't something new. I am not talking that all of a sudden people started shaming Betty. This has gone on for years. From way back in the beginning. Way back in 2022, when I started calling Queen Bee out, you all sat up there, excluding Deets. I don't remember Deets standing up there. But you, Nunya, Ellie, you all fucking sat up there and had no issues. Absolutely no fucking issues going after every aspect of Betty, including drinking, including her personal life. Sinner got stuff about her personal life. You all fucking played it. Stop with the fucking bullshit. Because the proof is out there.
And a true addict would not do that, because we know that shame gets them nowhere.
Then why'd you do it to Molly? Why'd you do it to Dolly? I've heard many of these people talk about this one looks high, that one looks high, this one looks high, shaming people all the time. I mean, shit, who hasn't shamed Michelle Sabati? We've all done it, especially with her fucking phone toast. I mean, we've all done it. So this holier than thou attitude all of a sudden is fucking bullshit. And the only people that are getting fooled are the subs with this fake ass outrage. This, oh my God, when you fucking did it too.
Not only that, though, I'm personally, addiction is not my struggle. I've got a million other struggles. But here's the thing. How are you really helping by throwing it in anybody's face? My understanding of addiction, which I can only speak from an empathy perspective with others who I know, but my understanding is it is a daily fucking struggle. Something that they absolutely have to go through. They have to wake up every morning and make an active choice to not go into active addiction. What is the point? Like, it really, and then honestly, the people who stand by and stand on it and like they co-sign that shit. I'm sorry, Boston Nick, that was some trash ass shit. You have your own story. You have spoke publicly about your brother's story and his struggles with addiction, and you loving the hell out of him despite his struggles. And then you get up there and you want to shame somebody else for their struggle. What you believe is their struggle. It's not my fucking business.
I think we all knew that Nick has no balls and he does whatever Queen Bee says. I mean, this is not new. No, this shouldn't surprise anyone.
To know if it is or if it's not. I don't give a fuck.
Period.
How much do you have to hate somebody? Like, how much do you have to consume that fucking hate to be able to throw that at somebody?
Well, I'm with you. I don't know the side of addiction of having, like, I'm not an addict. I've never been an addict, but I know addicts.
But you both are addicts. You don't realize it. Food is an addiction. And I'm not fat shaming at all, but you're not a drug addict. But if you're extremely overweight, you're a food addict. So don't say you're not an addict or you don't know anything about it, because it's no different from when you want to overeat or you make bad choices with food. So many people don't realize that food is an addiction.
Addicts. I love addicts. I've dealt with the opposite side of addiction, and I've talked openly about this before, of raising a son who I did not give birth to, that my husband did not, conceive, and what he went through watching his mom go through addiction. But my question is, a lot of these people, the clips that you showed me prior to this, are people that have spoken out against this shit prior to this. That they have stood up for addicts, they have stood up for those going through recovery, they have, gone to bat and said, you don't fucking addict shame on here, you don't call out someone's recovery like this. I've personally seen them do this in other situations.
Again, where was all the anger when it was Molly? Hey, Yarn. Yarn, I want you to hear my disclaimer. The people I'm sticking up for tonight, I am not speaking to, I am not friends with, but what's right is right. So I just want you to know that. I don't want you to think I'm friends with Molly again or anything, because I'm not. I'll fucking never talk to that bitch again, and I don't give a fuck whatever happens to her. So make that clear. So you don't think I'm up to something, Yarn, honestly. But what's right is right. So I just want to put that disclaimer so Yarn hears it.
So what the fuck has changed now? And that's where it goes to the hate. Like Spudler did that video on hate, and
everybody knew that Molly had issues with pills, but it did not stop any of you guys from railing her, except I gotta take Deets out of this because I don't remember Deets doing it. But how come it was not a problem when it was Molly? You all sat up there 100%. 100 fucking percent. And you have no problem with it. But when it comes to somebody else or somebody that you don't like says it, now it's a problem. Now it's, oh my God, how could you? Look, one thing about Queen Bee, she hasn't fucking changed. She's the same bitch she always was. Don't act like, oh, you didn't see this or she's different now. No, she's not. She's the same fucking person she's always been.
and my mind keeps going back to it. It's pure and
That's exactly
simple.
what
This
it
has
is.
to simply be hate. There's no other cause for it, which also means that your own integrity is out the fucking window because you don't stand on what you preach. Because I've seen all of y'all preach this shit before, and yet here you are today, shaming the fuck out of someone.
Shaming the one that y'all can't stand. Oh, well, get the fuck over it. Move on. It doesn't, it just.
Hey, look, it looks like I'm on panel with them. Hey, niece.
It's flabbergasting to me. There was something Elevated Truth said today. There's a few things he said today, and I want to touch.
Johnson, before you, because I know you had a couple of things there. Can I just acknowledge? I just want to say something to one comment. So,
Please.
Shay said, I respect that and agree. However, if somebody is admitted to being in recovery, why would they deny that they're getting help? There is no shame in getting help. So, two, I want to probably make 3 points. So, I'll start with number one, because it's nobody's business, right?
And I agree with that. It is nobody's business. But let's go one step further. Who do they have to tell? A bunch of people in a community that are always fucking high? That's who they're so obligated to tell? I mean, I know Nunya doesn't smoke. Deets doesn't smoke. I don't believe she does. I don't think she does. Johnson smokes. Queen Bee smokes. TM smokes. They're all high. So I think Clue's high a lot too. So who the fuck is Brittany gonna have to answer to? A bunch of people that are fucking high? Are you kidding me?
Them speaking on their own recovery is their choice. It is their life. It is their struggle that they choose to speak on. That does not automatically give other people the right to speak on their struggle. Second, what was spoke on is what their current struggle is, and saying that they are over medicated at this time when you are not a doctor, you are not a pharmacist, and it's still none of your fucking business. And then the third thing I would say is, again, not from experience, but I believe that addicts have a lot of shame in the fact that they will forever be an addict. So while there may not be shame in getting help, there's a lot of shame in putting that label of being an addict on you, because some people will absolutely judge that, whether it was 2 years ago.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If any addict feels shame for being an addict, please come talk to me, because you won't by the time I'm done with you. You should be. I am so fucking proud to be an addict. It's who I am. It's my chemical makeup. It's my chemical imbalance. And I wouldn't be me without it. And there is absolutely zero shame in that. Zero. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should feel shame about being an addict. Wear that shit proud, because that is why you are who you are. Shame brings addicts to relapse. Shame brings addicts to a place in their own head that they should never, ever be. Don't feel that shame. Be fucking loud and proud of who you are. Be loud and proud of being an addict. Addiction is a chemical imbalance in your head. You have no control over that. You have control over the choices you make. That is your control. And that's the only part that you have control of. But you do not have control over the fact that you're an addict to begin with. And that doesn't mean it can't be food, work, anything. So really, if you feel shame in saying you're an addict, please come talk to me privately, because you won't by the time I'm done with you. And I mean that. I wear that shit proudly. Oh, Laura, you an addict? Fuck yeah, I was. I'm a recovering addict for life. That'll never change. And I am damn fucking proud of it. Every mistake I made while I was on drugs was a learning experience. Every mistake I made in life while I was getting high was a learning experience. I learned, I conquered, I got better, and that's it. And I have no shame in that.
Ago, 2 months ago, or 20.
Aha, I got it recorded though. Hang on, let me switch to the recording. Really, Nunya? I knew she was going to do that, so I recorded it. And sunset gazing, yes, they were besties. When I was talking to her, I made fun of her about that. I said, remember when you said that B. Tim was like the smartest man you've ever met? She's like, oh God. I said, that was kind of funny. All right.
Talk about it.
Now, I don't remember where we were, though. Oh, hold on.
My understanding of addiction, which I can only speak from an empathy perspective with others who I know, but my understanding is it is your own story. You have spoke publicly about your brother's story and his struggles to consume that fucking hate, to be able to throw that at somebody.
Well, I'm with you. I don't, but my question is, a lot of these people, the clips that you showed me prior to this, are people that have spoken out against this shit prior to this. And that's where it goes to the hate. Like Spudler did that video on hate, and my mind keeps going back to it. It's pure and simple. This has to simply be hate. There's no other cause for it, which also means that your own integrity is out the fucking window because you don't stand on what you preach. Because I've seen all of y'all preach this shit before, and yet here you are today.
There's a few things he said today, and I want to touch
Johnson, before you, because I know you had a couple of things there. Can I just acknowledge? I just want to say something to one comment. So, she said, I respect that and agree. However, if somebody is admitted to being in recovery, why would they deny that they're getting help? There is no shame in getting help. So, I want to probably make 3 points. So, I'll start with number one. Absolutely judge that, whether it was 2 years ago, 2 months ago, or 25 years ago. It is a label that comes with automatic shame, and it fucking sucks.
You all zooming in to find this hospital and to put on blast that it's a methadone clinic with almost zero proof. Like you saw a window with a fucking shutter. I don't know if there's more proof than that or not. I don't need.
Okay, I did speed this part up. Now, here's the thing, though. I agree with everything Dietz is saying right now. I really do. I'll slow it down so you guys can understand it. But I get what she's saying, but I'm used to this because of the drama community. So whoever like blew it up and Dietz is like, why do you fucking care? And I totally agree with her. Why do you care? Like, who blew it up to see what doctor she was at? But that's what we all used to do. Look at what Savage did with the car. She blew it up to see what kind of car it is. That's just the drama community. So, do I think it's disgusting? Yeah. Do I think it's wrong? Yeah. But it's been done since the beginning of time.
Need to know, but it's the ones that are actively dealing with this and watching this go down who are now keeping their mouth shut when they thought that there were places out here that they could, have conversations with people about this addiction. Because previously, in y'all's chats and in y'all's panels, you've been very open and accepting of addicts and their recovery, but now you're shaming one. So someone's going to look at that and think, oh, that's going to happen to me. I got to keep my mouth shut.
Exactly.
That's my problem with it all. Or someone might even, well, I'm not going to say that because that's not fair to put on anybody, but it's just, there are people who are struggling hearing this and they might not enjoy that content.
What's the fucking point? That's my problem. What is the fucking point? It's not like any of the people covering this today give any fucks about this creator anyways. So your point is to exploit this creator, to further exploit her, not to sympathize, not to actually give a fuck, because you don't. You're pretending. I don't know if y'all are saying, I hope if something is wrong, she goes gets help.
Please explain to me why it's different for Brittany J than it was when y'all sat there shaming Molly. When y'all sat there saying, oh, look at Molly's mouth moving and what an addict she is, or when her and Betty and JLR and what's her name were in the Airbnb during summer stuff. This was like even before Sebastian. I'm sorry, before Quincy. And they were drinking, and Betty was shamed nonstop, just sitting in a room drinking at night. Y'all sat there going after her drinking, going after her looks. That's why I can't take any of this shit seriously. Like, and it bothers me that they have hundreds of people listening to their fucking hypocrisy and lies, and nobody stops them and says, dude, you did the same shit.
That doesn't correct or make up for what you've done with the exploiting of her beforehand. It just don't.
You mean all the exploitation of Betty? That kind of exploitation is that the exploitation that we're talking about here? Because nobody, not even me, has been exploited the way Betty has. This is going on 2 years already. 2 fucking years. A lot of these channels can't shut the fuck up about her. Move on already. And I know what that's like. You guys know I know what that's like. And I'm not saying that they do it, because I don't even think Dietz or Nunya ever talks about Betty. But I know Joneson does.
Yeah.
And Jason said it's very hard to talk about it due to the assumptions made by others. And speaking of assumptions, Jason, there was some assumptions on Elevated Truth today, and I was super disappointed. But he feels like he knows what she's doing in her life. He says he's got 0 patience for addicts that don't give any damns about changing people, places, situations, or habits. Well, sir, let me ask you, how do you know she ain't constantly trying to do that?
Here's another thing. I don't know the context of the conversation because I didn't hear it. But based on what she just said, he never said that it was directed at her, unless that's what he was saying. I don't know. I did not hear the conversation. But I'm just going on what she just said. I can relate to that comment. If you're not going to do anything to change your life, I don't want to hear about your addiction. I don't want to hear about your sadness if you're just going to wallow in your own misery. If you're going to do something about it, I'm all ears. But if you're just going to sit there and wallow in your own shit for the rest of your life, poor me, poor me, poor me, I got nothing for you. that's not directed at anybody particular. That's just reality. If you're not going to do anything to better your life, why the fuck should I care if whatever happens to you then? I get that. But I don't know if that is the conversation or that's the part she just said. So, like I said, I don't know if he was talking about her or if he wasn't or what context it was, but I'm just basing this on what she just said. Yeah, but niece, it's not their kid, honestly. But we're going to get to that. Let me address that real quick now. I hear a lot of exploiting a missing kid, but unless it's your kid, who gives a fuck? It's not your problem. There's lots of people that exploit. I'll give you another example. I saw Sinner promoting the lab the other day. Please tell me how the lab is any different than any of these fucking tragedy pimps. He's not. He's just as bad. Oh, but he likes him, so it's okay. No, it's not. He's besties with Justin. Y'all think Justin is a tragedy pimp who exploits cases? The lab does the exact fucking same thing.
Okay, so there's that one. Pisses people in recovery off is when other addicts faking it and not trying to make it. Well, how, sir, do you know that she's solely faking it and not trying to make it? You don't. It is an uphill battle. You regress tons of times before you even get where you want to be or where you need to be.
And I agree with her 150%. But where was this angst when it comes to Molly? Where was this love for not speaking about addicts when it came to Molly? That's what I want to know. Because again, you had no problem bashing Molly. You had no problem going after Molly. That was perfectly fine. It was great because it was just Molly. So let's make fun of the way her mouth moves, what drug she's on, blah, blah, blah. I just can't take any of these people seriously with their fake fucking outrage when they do the exact same thing depending on who it is.
You don't know shit. You claim to be in recovery? Bro, you cannot sit here and tell me that you did not go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And to think that somebody going up and down, or maybe somebody's in a down moment right now, that you get to come online and shame them? Fuck out of here, man.
Again, I've heard you shame Molly, Betty. I don't know about anyone else, but why is that okay? Speaking of GW, I thought this was comical that Jill, which last I knew was like her right-hand girl, and I don't know if Jill's left GW or whatnot, I really don't know, but she made a comment at the end of this stream that says any able-bodied person should be able to get a job. Does that include GW? Or does that only include people that you don't like? Just curious.
And saying that she expects people who know, because recovering addicts know addicts, right? Yes, I absolutely agree with that. But saying that she expects people who know the truth to pretend they don't see anything, guess what? That's not what she's asking. It's not our fucking business. She's not expecting anybody to be blind. In my opinion, could she be lying? Yes. Could it be because she's ashamed? Yes. You ain't even going to consider that, though.
No, because it's YouTube fodder. It's YouTube fodder.
Exactly. And you just want to say that she is definitely 100% gaslighting us and trying to pull the wool over our eyes. Well, no, Truth. You said it best. An addict knows a fucking addict. And she knows if she's an addict and if that's what's going on, that an addict is going to be able to tell. She don't expect you to pretend to be blind. She expects you to mind your motherfucking business.
And I'll say it again. What about Marissa? What about when you shamed Marissa? And there's other people I've heard these people shame. Exactly, niece. It's ridiculous. Molly sticks out to me because I was friends with her at the time, but I know that they have shamed a lot of people for being a drug addict. Molly, Tiffany's another one who's been shamed for being high. I just can't take this shit serious. And the angst in the voice, like, really? Let me pull up all the streams that you fucking did it to other people.
Sorry.
No, don't.
I'm an addict. I'm an addict. I'm a recovering addict. This shit fucking fires me up. I'll be goddamn if I ever take y'all on a fucking road trip with me, because the next thing I know, y'all are going to be claiming I'm meeting somebody buying pills on the side. Y'all are fucked up.
I just don't understand the level of hatred.
Now that part I totally agree with, and I agree with what Dietz is about to say.
To be willing to
be
do
sitting
that
your
on a
silly
live,
asses
just
on a
saying.
fucking stream Google earthing and be sitting in the background Google earthing and listening to her GPS and where it might be saying she's at. What is wrong with y'all? Why do y'all fucking care what her GPS is saying? Why do y'all fucking...
Because that's the drama community. Sage. Savage has done it with Bombshell. They've done it with me. You guys have done it with Betty. You've done it with other people. Let's stop with the holier than thou. It's just what people do. Do I agree with it? No. Would I ever do it? Oh, hell no. I've even said, I don't know where the fuck these people get time for this kind of shit. Like, who cares where they're going?
care if she's going to a clinic?
Y'all be
Why
out
do y'all
here
care?
portraying the biggest victims if someone had done that to them. Just saying. Every last one. And you'd probably have the right to do so. This is fucked up beyond belief. But I'm not just speaking on this situation. Like, all of this, like the past month, 2 months on in this community, this sector, whatever the hell it is anymore, it's just one thing after another, and it's just lower and lower and lower and lower and lower.
And we've all
Where's
been a
the
part
bottom?
of it.
Where's the fucking bottom?
Okay, I don't want to be a disappointment. Niece, some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. This ain't shit. Like, this literally isn't shit. We used to go way lower than checking somebody's GPS. Like, no joke. And I'm not talking like real life. I'm talking on YouTube. This ain't shit. This community is like puppy dogs compared to the way it used to be and how hardcore we used to go at each other. Like, you don't even know. It was ugly, ugly, ugly. Like, checking someone's GPS was like the easiest shit we would do. I mean, we threatened lives. It was bad. Like, the people now could not handle drama community of 2019. They could not handle it. We were just 2019, 2020. They would not be able to handle it. These holier than thou, oh my God, that's so bad. Oh no, you have no idea.
Yeah.
We've all been
Yeah.
a part of it. It's up to us to say we're not going to be a part of it anymore. But this is just sick.
Jason
What
said
is
these are
so fucked up
communities.
in your lives that you have to sit here and do this day in and day out, fucking with people? Go ahead, Nanya. I'm
If
sorry.
these are communities, a community is meant to build each other and help. Whether people like her or not, be careful because you don't know what someone is going through. Absolutely, Jason. I don't disagree. The one thing I do want to say is, and I see quite a few people.
And I agree with Nanya. But does anyone care what Betty's going through? Does anyone ever think what Betty's going through? What about Clue? Maybe Clue's going through shit. Maybe who else you guys go after on a daily? Maybe Clue says the things she says because she is going through stuff. Maybe Flavor's going through stuff. Maybe Bombshell's going through stuff. Maybe everybody's going through shit. You have no idea. But you still talk about other people. You still, point out everyone else's faults. Think about it. And I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I mean it. Think about it.
Talking about it in the chat. So I do want to mention it, like, just truly from my own heart. If you are in addiction, active addiction, there is help for you. If you are in recovery every single day, you should celebrate yourself and how far you come. It doesn't matter if you've only been sober for 1 hour, 2 years, 10 years, 25 years. Like, that is all something worth celebrating. Your life matters. You are worthy,
Yes.
and you matter. Any label anybody could ever put on you, any shame anybody could ever put.
Let me just say, although what she's saying is correct, and I totally agree with her, so I'm not saying anything bad against her on that because the word she's saying is right, but she already said she has no use, she doesn't know what addiction is. So for her to tell me as an addict that I shouldn't feel this and I shouldn't feel that, it's laughable to me.
On you, there's nothing like the shame that you can put on yourselves. So please, if you hear those things and somebody else is saying those things about another addict, please try very hard not to internalize those things. Because I know a lot of people who have lost family members and lost close friends and children even. Some people, I know there's somebody here on the internet and she talks about it fairly consistently. I think her son is sober now, but she talks about what it's been like to have a child in active addiction, and she wants him to get clean so bad, but that's just not his choice right now. And there's nothing she can do to fix that, save that. Like, there's nothing.
No, not until he makes that decision for himself.
Yeah.
And everybody's rock bottom looks different, and you can't even gauge what somebody's rock bottom is. There's so many times that we thought, Dylan's mom had hit rock bottom. Nope, that wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. You just never know what that's going to be either. And I can't help but think, like, why even try to facilitate into that? Why even try to be a part of somebody's rock bottom or somebody's, negative decline? Why?
I don't understand, because I feel like a normal person who isn't full of hate. Oh God, hold on.
Katie, you're 100% right. I totally agree with you. What about if Queen Bee's going through stuff? 100% agree.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Oh, we got the echo.
Something popped up. I don't know.
Perfectly. You were right. Some of these bitches are
I'm
addicted.
sorry. Apollo hit
Absolutely.
the remote.
And really, truly, you could be addicted to food. You could be addicted to cigarettes. You could be addicted to alcohol. You could be addicted to drugs. You could be addicted to, like, pornography. You could be addicted to so many different things.
Social
like, everybody
media,
has
so much.
some type of addiction. Like, it just may look different on all of us, and the impact of it may look different. Like, if I'm addicted to food, I may be, 600 pounds.
I fucking love food.
Well, and some
Don't
of our
shame me
addictions
for
are
that,
acceptable, right? Like, I obviously have a pib addiction. Nobody's gonna, it is what it is, but it's an acceptable addiction in society. There are things like that where, I'm not gonna get shamed because I drink so much soda, right? But this is different. These addictions, those struggles, that's some real shit. And I don't want to say this, but I do want to say this. Shut up about fucking kids. Everybody, creators, chat members, subscribers, pets, dogs, family members in the background. Shut up about fucking kids.
Period.
You're talking about them and acting like you're not, and you are. It's disgusting.
I love when Deke gets mad. I think it's so cute. Pecan, I know what you're saying, but here's the difference. The difference is that when I called out Cam and Allie, it was because they were affecting other people. Their addiction was triggering people. Nobody would have even realized that Brittany was at a place unless somebody actually blew it up and did that. Like, it wasn't triggering to anybody. If you're going to call someone out to trigger because you're actually hurting people, that's a little different. But I mean, don't hate me for this. And I know some people may even unsub for me saying this, but I don't think what Queen Bee said was that horrible. Like, they're making it out like she really went after her. And from what I heard, maybe I didn't hear the whole thing, but I think Queen Bee was more just giving an opinion, like a matter-of-fact opinion. Again, I didn't hear the whole thing. I only heard a small piece of it. So there could have been more or less to it. But I mean, I honestly think I called out Cam and Allie a hell of a lot harder than what I heard Queen Bee do. But again, I could be wrong. I did not hear the whole thing.
That angered me. Sorry.
Brantley said, I think they want her to be pushed to the edge. What else could it be? Well, that's the question, Brantley. Why? What is it? What is it that makes you feel like you have a right to make this woman's life and her possible struggle your business? It's not. If she's fallen asleep, it's still her fucking business. You can have an opinion, sure, but to come out here and shame and exploit these situations, it's uncalled for.
Oh my God. Again, you did it to Molly. You sat on Queen Bee's panel shaming the fuck out of Molly every day. Every day. And you had no issues with it at all. Please make it make sense.
Well, let's be real. Nobody came out here out of true concern for another person.
No,
Not
and that's
one
the
person
biggest
came out here
problem.
out of true concern.
No.
Like, honestly, when 90% of the people speaking on her hate her or have some type of past beef with her or that kind of stuff, like, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's not coming from a concern for her. When it comes to those specific people, it's coming from a place of just like, you just want to make her look like a piece of shit person. And honestly, maybe deep down,
Come on, these people were closer with QB than I was. And even I know QB didn't look at it like that. She wasn't saying it like that. Again, at least the part that I heard. She wasn't saying it like, oh my God, she's like, I hate to say it. When I went after Cam and Allie, I went after them hard. And I wasn't shaming them, but I went after them hard. I don't see where QB went after her so hard. I don't. If someone can point it out for me, but again, I think differently. I also don't think what Clue said was that oh my God. We used to say shit like that all the time.
Inside, it's a lightweight dog whistle. Because you want people to have fucking concerns.
Feels like it,
and maybe
especially
go
when
and
it's
call
in the kids.
CPS, because we gotta say, what about the babies?
Yeah. What about the babies? Listen.
And you're right. It's not our place. It's, you know, we're not her friends. And by we,
Ellie, you're up later tonight. Once this is over, because I got something to say to you and B Tim.
I don't mean just the three of us. I mean all of these other creators talking about this as well. If there is something that's, you know, for her and her true friends to handle, whatnot, it's just the shaming and the discussion of children and just even throwing out methadone clinic. What the fuck do you think you were?
From what I heard, I don't remember exactly what it was, but all right, you know how QB makes like stuff in passing? She was talking to Nick and she was, guys, help me out. It wasn't anything super serious. It wasn't like, she didn't go after Brittany like the way I went after Cam and Allie. She said a couple things like, you know, something about her sobriety or, you know, she shouldn't have done that or why is she ashamed? I don't remember exactly what it was, but in my opinion, but I'm different than a lot. I didn't think it was that traumatic that sparked this, you know, anger in people and oh my God, you can't shame an addict and blah, blah, blah. I did not think she was doing that. And I'd be the first one to say, yes, she was. I don't think she thought about it that hard. Like, that's how I feel. Like, she just didn't think about it that hard. And I think they're looking into it a lot more. Like, again, when I went after Cam and Allie, I went after them hard. Queen Bee was more casual conversation.
Doing.
Why
What
y'all?
did anybody think they were doing?
So there's a couple of different comments I want to read real quick. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat. So J Fox says, I mean this in a respectful way and as a child of a parent in active addiction. Denial of a problem is a massive problem. How we approach someone's denial should be a part of the discussion. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I do not feel like any of us on the internet who are not friends with her, who are not family to her, should be a part of that approach. That is for
and that's what
close friends and her family to approach with her.
And that's what we were talking about before this, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about before you did this live, Nunya, is that it's not like, and I even used Melissa Jade or Allie or Mal, or I even used them as examples because they were once really good friends with BJ. And
Like
even though they,
friend,
yeah, but even though they've fallen out, they still have that care where they would want to, you know, make sure she's all right in that sense. It ain't like that. These are people that she has been at war with for weeks now, some of them years. Y'all are not doing this to show any kind of concern. Nunya's 100% right.
It's the fake concern that's happening right now.
I don't even feel like they're fake concerning.
Well, that one clip,
they're going live and pointing the finger and blaming and saying things as if they know them to be 100% factual.
Again, like you do with Molly, or like you did with Molly. It's crazy. No, I'm not, hoodies. I'm 100% how I feel. I cannot stand this holier than thou attitude. It drives me fucking nuts. Look, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody fucks up. Everybody does things they shouldn't have done. Everybody said things they shouldn't say. It is what it is. But just the holier than thou, I'm so much better than you, and I would never do this when they do it, that's my problem.
I know
Do you
exactly
know
what this
what kind
looks
of
like because
damage?
I don't even fucking like Molly or Betty. I truly, truly don't. So trust me, I'm not saying anything like sticking up for them, but you know, I was friends with Molly when all this went down, and I just can't stand this holier than thou attitude when they were right there. Again, not deets, but they were right there on Queen Bee's panel, going after Molly's addiction, going after Molly this, going after Betty that. That's my issue. I can't stand the bitch.
my
That's the
friend went
thing.
through it. Bullshit. Don't tell
Oh
me.
my God, get
Whatever.
the fuck out of here. Do you know what that can do to people? Because, like I said, you will go up and down. You will have good times, you will have bad times. How do we know somebody ain't in a bad time right now? And you doing what y'all did, because it was at least 4 streams today, back to back, about this shit by different creators.
This part I know nothing about. I have no idea who went live today about it. We were all watching the Flavor nonsense stuff.
How do y'all know that wouldn't push somebody over the edge?
Hold on, the chat is on fire.
Okay,
The
I'll
truth
stop.
said, okay, so basically I got what she's trying to say. Those women, well,
Their
okay.
whole ass life is
Their
a true
whole
crime.
ass
Yeah.
life is a true crime. Okay.
Mhm.
However, I thought she was saying something else at first. The stream that was going while this is being discussed is a Sebastian Rogers stream.
Seriously?
In the middle of the stream, that's when we're going to discuss this.
I didn't even
What?
catch that. I didn't
I
even
didn't
catch that. That's
either.
what
Yeah,
was going
let me,
on.
I'll go, I don't have the title. Hold on. The title of the actual stream.
Well, I know that wasn't for Truth. It could have been true for Queen or Granny, but I know Elevated Truth, he was just sitting there having a talk.
Well,
He
Talking shit
immediately,
about it.
yeah, he couldn't contain himself.
It's
let's
insane.
talk.
Struck
The
up the
title is
live
"Let's
and
talk about the new video / breakdown on missing teen Sebastian Rogers and the
whose is
not
that?
exposed." So this was an expose. This for those of you.
Here's another thing. I've never watched Elevated Truth a day in my life. I don't know who the guy is. I've watched Clue maybe once or twice in my entire existence. I don't know who they are. And I mean, I know who they are, but I don't know. Elevated Truth, I wouldn't know if he came on my screen. But what Elevated Truth talks about on his channel is not my concern. What he chooses to do with his channel is not my concern. It's just not my concern. I don't know why everybody wants to dictate what goes on other people's channels. I said this about Queen Bee. I've said it about Marissa. I've said it about Deets. I've said it about Jonesin. I've said it about a lot of places. I don't know why people have such an issue that they want to dictate what someone else says or someone else's moral compass. If my moral compass is totally different than yours, then don't come to my channel. So if my moral compass is totally different than Savage's, I won't go to Savage's channel. But don't make something okay for one creator and not okay for another. What I've heard them talk about, again, I didn't watch it, I could be way off. But from what I heard them talk about Elevated Truth, he didn't say anything other than basically don't wallow in your own misery. And if you're going to get high, you know, don't cry how you're always getting high. Do something about it. From what I understand, that's what he said. Although I don't know if I'm missing something. But according to Jonesin, that's basically what's been said. So if that's all that's been said, then it's not anybody's business what they're talking about on their channel. Again, it goes back to moral compass. Hey, fur baby, it goes back to moral compass. If my moral compass doesn't align with yours, then I won't go to your channel. But I'm not going to tell you what you should and should not talk about on your channel. It's your channel.
you who are in that chat cheering it on. This was an expose that she told you right there in the fucking title. This was an expose. An expose
Well,
is not fucking awareness. It is not
Who did
because you
that?
care.
whose stream is that?
That's Queen's.
Oh,
Oh,
so
hell.
there's going to be a
Yeah,
lot of
the
people
one to
over in that
talk.
chat who gave us so much shit for doing drama in the midst of true crime when we barely discussed the situation for less than 5 minutes at the beginning of the stream. We're really going to hear from those people, right? That had a lot of fake outrage with that bullshit. I'm sure they're going to speak out against this.
I
Because
don't
you're
care if
telling
they
me
don't. I
What
just
I
hope
in
they
the
want
check their
midst
moral
of a
compass.
Sebastian stream, you're going to expose another creator's nod?
Well, here's what
The
I
ex-
do want to know. Okay. Every
Fuck.
single person, Cappy, this is for you. Let me say names because I know sometimes it gets fucking confused. Cappy, this is specifically for you.
I'll give you an example. Here's a perfect example. I, for the life of me, will never, ever understand how people can sit there for hours listening to B. Tim. 1,000 people. It's mind blowing. I get like 5 minutes of him and I'm done. Like, I just can't listen. I would rather listen to voices. I just could not listen to B. Tim. And she's got over 1,000 people, like 1,100 people in there every day talking about, I'm sorry, listening to B. Tim and his stupid fucking rants. So B. Tim's moral compass doesn't align with mine. So what do? I don't go over there and listen. I don't agree with his moral compass, so I don't listen. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell Queen Bee how to run her fucking chats. She's doing great. Her chats are working for her. No, I did not hear any of it, Gardetto. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've stressed that multiple times that I only heard what Queen Bee, I'm sorry, I've only heard what Jonesin brought to the table. I don't know if there was more to it or any, I have no idea. So I stressed that multiple times. Let me stress it again. I'm only going by what Jonesin said. I could be way off.
My question is, when somebody was looking up on a live stream pictures and talking about a car and Google Earthing and emailing in Google Earth pictures, that was going real life. And
my advice to B. Tim, please, for the love of God, stop saying, if I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm honest. If I catch myself saying that sometimes and I stop because he pops in my mind. There is nothing more annoying than when he constantly says, if I'm going to be honest with you, no, we want you to fucking lie to us, B. Tim. Stop saying it. It's horrible. Horrible.
there was a fucking outrage for that. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. But here you have somebody who watched Brittany J drive to the doctor and talk to her chat for her little, however long her drive was, right? And she's talking to her chat while she's driving about whatever she was talking about.
Now, I have an age-old question that Fur Baby, Yarn, a couple of you guys that are old school drama community will understand. Because this is a fight that we have had since the beginning of the drama community. If it's so bad and what Queen Bee did was so horrible, why do you keep talking about it? Why, after 4 lives went on about it, if it's so bad, why are you now on a panel talking about it? Why are you bringing it to even more people? That's what I don't understand. And this has been since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the drama community. It's a question that has never been answered. Yes, QB does love the monkey. She says it all the time that she sneaks watching it. Yeah, Justice for all got a baby spider monkey and he's so cute. She's adorable. And honestly, if anyone has patience for a monkey, it's him. Because I wouldn't have the patience.
And they see her pull in front of this doctor's office, and they grab screenshots of what the doctor's office looks like the whole way through. And then they zoom into the sign on the door to see the doctor's name. And then they go searching for that doctor in the area to try and prove these things. And then they get all this together and they get all these screenshots. Look at the shutters match these shutters on her stream. Look at this and look at that. They compare everything. And then they think, oh, shit, who could I send this to? Wow, let me send this to Queen Bee because I know she will care. Yes. And I'll send this over. And then your dumbass puts the screenshots of the shit from Google Earth up on the stream, showing her doctor's office. Oh, but let me get it. Let me tell you what they're going to say. I'm going to be
let's hear the justification, Nanya. Let's hear the justification.
It's not our fault she showed it on the stream.
There it is.
And it's not our fault she talks about her kids. It's not our fault she talks about her being in recovery. That's not our fault. We're just proving it. Oh, okay. So when they just proved that there was a car in your driveway, it was wrong. See,
but the HOA or the hypocrite.
The other one, but when it's you, it's a big problem. So, Cappy, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and be all in the chats, telling everybody how wrong your queen was for showing some real life shit. Because it doesn't get more real life than showing somebody's doctors zooming in on a sign that's not even far. Like literally, if I wouldn't show it, but if you've seen it, it's everywhere. But if you've seen it, the sign is like this little tiny square below the.
Again, I'm not saying it's right because it's not, but it's stuff like that has been gone on since the beginning of time. So the thing about spider monkeys, though, I did read this, that most people give up their spider monkeys when they become adults because they're too neurotic. So I don't, hopefully his won't happen, but that's what I heard.
What do you call it? Like I don't know, where your okay, so imagine your windshield on the car and then like where your door opens up, right? So imagine that. Well, where your door opens up, the part where your windshield and the door kind of meet, whatever that fucking piece of your car, plastic piece of your car is called. So it's a little square right next to that plastic piece that they had to zoom into to find the doctor's name to go find this clinic. Tell me again that somebody gave a fuck about her? That you really cared? That this wasn't an expose? That this wasn't just to shame her?
This was another, ooh, we got her again. We got her this time. Ooh, let me hold this for when I need it. That's what this was.
It's not the gotcha moment you think it was.
No, because y'all are trash. Y'all are all fucking trash.
No, and y'all sit by it. Like, honestly, some of you, I'm like, how in the world is this happening? I was so disappointed to hear Nick in that clip this morning. I was like, what happened? One, he had been away for a long time from what I'm understanding, but like, how do you come back and just go straight into it? Indy, where are you at? Don't say, oh, I didn't watch it. I didn't see what's happening. Come on now. But y'all are conveniently there for everything else, right? Y'all see it. You just truly, truly don't give a fuck. And that's okay. If you want to be trash with her.
All right, let's be fair. If it was GW, honestly, if it was GW, someone on this side would be doing the exact same thing. Not one of them three, but one of their subs, one of their people would be doing the exact same thing. It's been done for years. As long as I've been here, I've seen this shit over and over and over. They do it to Betty. I've seen people do it to Betty over and over and over. And I don't hear any complaints. I don't hear anybody freaking out. I don't hear anybody, when it comes to Betty, I don't see anyone having a shit fit over it.
That's cool. So many people sat over in that Discord when we were around there sharing their own personal struggles with addiction, but y'all stand up there and, oh, fuck it. Oh, it's Brittany? Oh, absolutely. Drag her for shame, shame, shame. Like, Jesus.
You don't have to love someone to have a moral compass and be a decent human being to them. You can hate them all day long, but they're still human and they still suffer. They
Betty is human, Jonesin. And y'all don't seem to have a problem going after Betty. She's still human. Molly was human. I'm human. We're all fucking human beings. So that applies for everybody.
they go through emotions. They're happy, they're sad, they're mad, they're joyful. I mean, there's so many different emotions, cheerful, whatever, but they're still human. And y'all are fucking with them.
None of these people could handle what I've been through, what Molly's been through, what Betty's been through. They could not handle it, ever.
Well, the thing is right now it's somebody that a lot of people in this sector doesn't like.
They don't like.
And hasn't, and they
And
don't fuck with. But tomorrow, it's gonna be your friend that you chat with daily in the Discord.
yeah,
And then the day after that, it's probably gonna be you. If you're very naive in thinking if that's not what's going to eventually at some point happen.
yeah, facts. And the unfortunate part about it is, and let's be real, Brittany gives everybody more than enough.
But think about it, fur baby. Think about this for a second, because I have thought about this. Does she really, though? Because she's only on her own channel. She's not trolling anybody. She's not bothering anybody. She tells her lies on her own channel. Not much different than, what's his name? Joseph Morris. Joseph Morris is like the biggest fucking liar on YouTube. And he's got close to 1 million subs. He lies as much as Betty. He makes up fake evidence. He had to leave YouTube for a year because of all the fake evidence he made up. And he got busted. But he lies. He just sits there and lies all the time. I don't hear anyone talking about him. If people didn't like Betty, then don't go watch her. Like, but she goes too far, but nobody would know about it if 1 million people weren't watching her. Like, I don't know how to make people understand that. Joseph Morris goes way too far. How come nobody ever talks about him? Because there's not 30 people making videos about him every day. That's what I'm saying. She tells her own lies on her own channel. That's it. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Has in the past. I don't know about currently because I don't watch her.
Yes,
But has in
I
the past
agree.
given people more than enough problematic behaviors when it comes to the discussion of cases and respecting victims and putting out factual information.
There's enough
There is
YouTube shit,
no
yes.
way, no way that there was even a need to go down this road.
I can, what's crazy, y'all? I can feel like she's exploited Sebastian Rogers' case. I can feel like she's exploited his parents. I can feel like, this, what's it called? The I word, the injunction. I can feel like that was a stupid ass thing to do on the back of a child's name. But I can also still acknowledge that what's being done to her right now pertaining to this is wrong.
But that's the point. You see clips. If nobody clipped her, then it's just her business and nobody would know. Like, I don't know what goes on in Betty's life. I don't watch clip channels about her. I don't watch videos about her. I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. It only goes beyond her channel because people make it go beyond her channel. People made Betty into who Betty is because Betty doesn't talk about these people. Betty just stays on her own fucking channel and does her own thing. It's everybody else that's in Betty's life.
So, Sunnyside, I don't disagree with you, and I don't know.
Hey, now, I do not have a criminal history. Thank you.
I'm a fixer. I'm a person who shows entirely too much fucking grace, which people hate about me at times when they're my friend and they don't want me to be showing grace. I don't disagree with you at all. I think the place that I struggle in is they could easily take a break and slowly walk away. You know what I mean? Like, I just, yeah, I don't understand it. I don't think I'll ever understand it. I also don't understand how, I think you can absolutely call out bad behavior without having, like, what her situation is, one way or the other, means nothing to me. She is another creator on the internet, and it has nothing to do with me. She is not my sister, mother, brother, friend. She's none of those things to me, so none of that matters to me. But problematic behaviors have
That's her narcissism, Ash.
always mattered to a lot of us.
They used to, anyway.
They used to, yeah. They used to. Hey, Spudler.
And Inspector Gadget, I've seen you comment that she needs, like, her friends need to be holding her accountable and she needs better friends. Guess what? That's also not our business.
Yeah. That's up to her friends to do. Like, if they're like, again, I can, and again, I don't think any type of way. I feel like, there is a part of me that is like, if you fall asleep 3 nights on a row because you're that fucking tired, then just do an hour-long stream and go to sleep. Like,
Right.
I've had
I
days
have
where, like,
my
I've had a
opinions.
really fucking long
Yes.
day with my family and I am exhausted. And sometimes I don't want to stream, or I may be on somebody's panel, but I don't want to leave them alone. And, like, Johnson has done it too. Look, not like that, but, like, Johnson has done it like, hey, I'm going to hop down before y'all start hearing me snore because I'm getting sleepy now. It
I did it
happens.
the other night.
I
The
don't give
other
a
night
fuck
during the
what
HOA
reason
meeting.
it's for. Just log off. Like, it's okay. It's
And I
still
agree.
exactly chasing whether she sleeps or not. Again, not our business. I agree. I
I
agree.
mean,
I
and you
just
can have an
wild.
opinion. You don't have to shame her, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, if you're falling asleep on stream, people are going to talk about it. And we're not saying you can't or shouldn't talk about it. We're saying don't take it to the furthest level you can to where you're looking up and zooming in on doctor's offices. That's weird as fuck. Why you ain't got nothing else to do? Like, you can't go mop a floor or take the trash out or, go take your kids somewhere. You ain't got something you can do?
And really, so I'm going to point out something else. I know a lot of people aren't going to like it, and Deets and Jones, and if you want to hop down for this part, I'm totally okay with that.
No,
Let me
I
tell
got your
you.
back no matter what.
Okay. So I know that Nonsense's stream the other day was very cryptic and people were very confused by said stream, and everybody thought it was about them when it probably wasn't, right? Okay.
Right. I had no clue.
One of my takeaways from that particular stream is what happens when people start to hate somebody so much that they lose any boundaries that they ever had before.
They lose themselves. They lose themselves.
Yeah, and what she was talking about originally, she was talking about the anti-KJ community, which actually is 2 different parts. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with all of this. There is a purpose. Hang in there with me. Okay, all right. So there's 2 different parts. There's this lady named Katie Joy without a crystal ball. Okay, she has problematic behaviors. She's trash too. Okay, so let's put that out there first and foremost, so they don't.
Now that is one bitch I don't give 2 fucks about.
Come for me because it's the truth. Okay, but there are people who have spent the last 5 to 6 years hating that lady so much that there is no low that some of them will go to, because that's all that they can actually consume is her. They only focus on her, not her problematic behaviors, but it's how is she taking care of her special needs child. They've read her rape report out online.
What
They've
the
done
fuck?
so many fucking gross things. Now, she's a shitty person as it is, but they've had no boundaries. Okay. All right. So there's that first part. Okay.
Dude, where have all the boundaries been with fucking Betty? There have been no boundaries with Betty. Nobody's given Betty any grace at all. Or Molly, or me, or anybody.
And what I took away from the conversation the other day is when you spend so much time hating a person, we've seen it happen with Betty. I'm sorry, a lot of people
Oh my God.
will disagree with me, but we've seen it happen with Betty. It stopped being about her problematic behaviors. It stopped being about the shit things that she was doing and started being personal attacks on her.
I would agree with that, except it's false. People have been going after Betty from day one. And I know this because I was one of them. Again, I was one of the first people to ever call out Betty. And I went after her hair and her looks long before QB even knew who Betty was. So in theory, that sounds good. Like, oh, we went after her and it stopped being about things she did, and all that sounds good in theory, but it's just not true. People have been going after Betty's looks. Look at fucking what's her name? Burnt Toast. Burnt Toast pulled up her entire record. Why? This was before the lawsuit, so it wasn't even because of the lawsuit. She went after Betty from jump, pulling up her whole record. How is this any different? But y'all co-signed that. Y'all had no problem co-signing that. Why is this different? It's not. It's the same thing. So you're all outraged over something that you sat by and had no issues with when it came to Betty. And again, I'm not shaming anybody. I hope people fucking wake up and realize what they sound like.
Her, people going by her
Her
house,
hair,
people calling
her
in wellness
food.
checks that weren't really caring about giving a fuck about her wellness. People
Uh-huh.
going and I don't know, just
And it got to
talking
the
about
point
her
where
hair, her
if
clothes,
you
her
weren't
look.
hating on her, you were now the enemy. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
and if you
it sure
didn't hate
did.
on her as much as they hated on her, then you absolutely loved her and wanted to be her best friend, and you were trading friendship bracelets with her. So you've seen it happen there, and now you see it happening with Brittany J, and it's the same fucking thing. Like, you guys go too far with the hate. You can literally point out the shitty things that people do without it getting to that point, but you can't, because they just need to hate. It consumes you, and it's so fucking crazy. Thank you, Shambles. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, mods, for dropping those websites.
Nanya, that makes me think about how they are constantly out here saying, oh, Brittany J's a victim. She's the perpetual victim. Well, y'all are consistently making her one. Turning.
That is so not true. So not true. I understand that Jonesin likes Brittany, and that's perfectly okay. I used to like Brittany. I don't have an issue with someone liking someone. But I'm sorry, Brittany does make herself a victim. Okay? Like, for real. She is the least of victimhoods. Just saying. And I heard a video, someone clipped a video where, I don't know, she was talking about how she never asked for money or something. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You had to hand out more than most for electric bills, for this, for that. Like, stop.
Her into a victim the last couple of weeks. Y'all don't think y'all have had enough yet?
Yeah.
Like, you're turning people, like, okay, you were 100% allowed your opinion that you feel like she makes everything, she turns every situation into a victimization of her. You're allowed to have that opinion. But what's your opinion going to be when you step outside yourself and realize that you also made her a victim?
Yeah.
Then
I
what's
hear
your
people say it
opinion
all the
going to
time.
be?
Like, I'm so sick of her playing the victim card. I'm so sick of her just playing
And she
the victim. Here's the
does.
thing. I'm sorry, but some of y'all are making a fucking victim.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. She does play the victim card a lot. She does make, molehills into mountains when it comes to her. But it doesn't exclude the fact that y'all are doing it to her too.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is Jonesin really fucking talking about what a victim Britney is, but doesn't see people who really are victims of hate and bullshit. Like, this has to be a joke.
Speller said, hate is addictive. There are many hate addicts in this community, in my opinion, and I do not disagree with that.
No, I don't
think some
even.
people are definitely hate addicts. Cammy said, I'm a BHB basher and I do not care who hates me for it. I don't hate anybody. Let me clarify. I don't hate anybody who likes to bash her. I'm simply saying there has to be. So if something was to happen to her, whether it be physically or, you know, if it had gone too far, let's say, whatever your too far is, if something had gone too far, would you be able to say, well, no, that's not right? Even though I don't like her and I can't stand her and I love to consume the content where it's bashing her, then okay.
I mean, to be fair, based on Jones and Siri, Queen Bee's a victim because Queen Bee's in a lawsuit. Take the money side out of it, because believe me, this lawsuit has made her rich. But take the money side out of it. Someone went real life on her. Somebody took it upon themselves to bring her to court. Technically, that would be a victim, not Britney.
And truly, what ends up happening is when you make her a victim over these kinds of things, this is the second thing that has happened that I can think of off the top of my head. But when you make her a victim, what you do is you make it harder for the people who actually want to call out the problematic behaviors. For any creator, this just isn't for her, but for any creator.
That right there is my biggest issue. And I've said it before. Can we please stop with the I must call out problematic behaviors? It's not your fucking life. It's not your business. Nobody needs to call out anybody. And I don't mean you can't give an opinion like I'm doing right now. That's not what I'm talking about. If you hear something, you want to give an opinion on it, that's one thing. But to call out behaviors, because again, it's not your moral compass, is not, it's not right. Again, give an opinion, yes, but even, you know, do a reaction video, no problem. But this whole like calling out somebody else, who are any of us to really call out anybody? It's not our fucking business. So that whole mentality, I just, I can't stand. Switch the wording to, I'm going to do a reaction video. I can handle that. I can't handle this. Well, I need to call them out. No, you don't. You need to mind your own fucking business. And I don't mean you personally, Nunya. I'm saying in general. You don't need to call anybody out. Again, you want to give your opinion, go right ahead. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's entitled to, you know, do a reaction video. But this holier than thou attitude, like, well, I need to call them out or they need to be no, they don't need to be called out. Just fucking ignore them and move on.
Lisa, I think the problem is they don't even realize that they're hate channels. Like, they laugh at it and they think that it's funny, but they don't see this as hate. No, Kelsey, that happened a long time ago for me. A long time ago for me. It thank you a little bit. It discredits the true stuff, because when some real shit happens, right? If she went live today, right, and she was bashing the fuck out of the Proud Puts, not saying she would do that. I'm just saying if she was, right, and the other creators who went live and tried to show that, do you know how many people wouldn't listen? Because it's just another Britney bash session. I don't want to listen to it because it could be some real good shit.
She's probably high.
That she should be called out on. And people won't. It fails to bring the awareness that some people are really trying to do.
Yeah, I agree. It takes away from further actions being called out because you're not going to pay quite as much attention.
It's really just the hypocrisy for me. This
there's so many better people to call out than Betty. There's so much like I watch people that call people out. They call out MLMs, they call out like I've never watched anyone call out Foodie Beauty because I just don't give a fuck. But like if you're gonna call out people, call out big creators. Don't call out like Betty or me or Savage or or Queen Bee. I mean, we're petty little people. There's like big people you can call out that is worth calling out if you have this, inner need to call people out.
The blatant hypocrisy around
like y'all
all
ain't
of
her
it.
friend. Shut the
All of
fuck
it.
up. Mind your business.
But again, doesn't that go to Queen Bee's money as well? All the money that Queen Bee makes or all the donations that she gets, I hear people in the HOA talk about it nonstop. I'm not saying these three, but a lot of their subs, a lot of their people call it out all the time. What is the difference? They're not donating. It's not their friends. So why do people give a fuck? Who would I call out? What do you mean? If I was gonna just pick someone? Oh, I have no idea.
It's
Issues ever get resolved.
disgusting.
In fact, we have all just been in one big ass argument for years. The layers of the hate union just keeps getting bigger. I agree. Somebody asked a question. Hold on. Did anyone? Okay, so yes, I think fair is fair. Did anyone QB's chat speak up? There was one person who did say, if this is her going to get help, that and it's the help that she needs, then that's good enough for me.
Good for them, but it can't be that, right? Because that
well,
comment
no, of course,
was
because then it was like,
responded
yeah,
to.
that's true, but blah 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 blah, whatever. Of course, that was the response to it. But I'm not speaking on the response. Just, yes,
not
there
when
was
you're
one
over.
person who did speak up.
Yeah, and the response to that was, well, I would normally typically agree, but not when you're overusing it. Shut the fuck up.
And not only that, though, like it's also somebody whose name I had never seen before, so that does make a difference too. Because I don't know if it's somebody afraid or on their alt account. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be because it's a hard thing to speak up on.
The Wandering said, "Let's bring back friendship bracelets and the phrase up your butt and around the corner."
We need some what would Jesus do, because a lot of y'all need Jesus
people
out
need
here.
Jesus up in here. Seriously. On all sides. On all
I don't care
sides
if
of
it's
this
Jesus
mess.
for you or anybody else. I'm good with it.
Period.
You need your
I
person.
don't know. It was just really
kind of,
disappointing.
it reminds me of like, we spent years being called hate channels. Like a lot of us have been called hate channels.
Yeah.
And I think some people took ownership of that title and are just running freaking wild with it.
But here's my question,
really
though.
Are.
Because we were in a different space at that time, do you feel like when the original, those are the hate channels, when that first came out, is it possible that we didn't even see at that time that maybe we were actually being the hate channels?
When Betty.
Thank you, Nunya. Thank you. A friendly talker, you're welcome. Because I'm one of the pretty much founders of it. Me, MM, a lot of people that aren't around anymore, Molly, we were all like the ones that started it. I mean, there were a lot of us. It wasn't just us three. But I think we're the only ones that are still around. Tiffany. But this is where, I know you guys can't see it, but this is where Jill wrote, Jones and I agree. An able-bodied person should be working. I wonder if she tells that to GW.
When I used to be with Queen and she would call us the hate channels and Dolly would call us the hate channels, I thought they were out of their cuckoo minds. I did. And then I stepped outside myself. I reflected on my own actions in these situations that's making them say, oh, she's a hate channel. She's a hate channel. And I realized, oh my
Oh,
God, I'm a hating ass
Right?
bitch. I need to get my
so
shit together.
hold on. Who is that? So one thing I don't fuck with, I know there's a lot of people here who say, I don't let people talk on kids on my page. We don't talk about kids on this page. I really mean it when I say I don't fuck with kids or talking about kids on this page. So you will be blocked. Feel free to email me if this is a misunderstanding. But I don't fuck with no kids. I don't fuck with nobody. I don't care what you have to say about somebody's kids. I don't fuck with that at all. So you can take that conversation over to somebody who gladly will allow you to talk about kids in their chat and allows that type of conversation. This is not that page. I stand by the fact that I don't talk about kids here. I don't care how you feel about anybody's parenting, how you feel about their kids. I don't give a fuck if they've talked about their kids all day, every day for the last 14 days straight. It doesn't give anybody else a right to have an opinion that they speak publicly out on about somebody's kids.
I don't know where this notion came from. Like, if you hear our loved ones in the background of our streams, you now get to discuss them.
Thank you, because I've been saying this for years. What, 5 years now? I've been saying that. Just because you hear my kids in the background doesn't mean that they're free game. 100% agree with that. I've been preaching this for a long time.
They now get to become YouTube fodder for you or content for you. No, it's disgusting. Just stop. It's plain and simple.
All right, so that was that. I guess I'm gonna have to get to the other one tomorrow because I'm already at 2 hours and the dogs are going crazy. But I do want to touch on the Ellie B. Tim incident that I heard. All right, Ellie and B. Tim, what are you doing? Out, out. I let you in, and I being a little nightmare. It's probably easier because of the dogs if I just play the video I was watching. But let me just tell you, B. Tim and Ellie were talking about, oh my God, I forgot what it was. They were talking about something. And Ellie was saying, I live in Hollywood, and that's, I got to put on the video because I don't remember exactly what it was. So bear with me a second. Oh, I know what it was. About Dog and the Netflix stuff and how Dog doesn't, I don't know, Netflix isn't going to do anything like that because there's not national attention when it comes to Sebastian Rogers. And she was talking like that. And I was banging my head against the wall. Ellie, you couldn't be more wrong if you tried. Nobody knew who Making a Murderer was before these two random people started filming 10 years ago. It was Making a Murderer is Netflix's biggest documentary to date. And they bought Brendan Dassey's rights before anybody even knew who Brendan Dassey was. So, no, I can't stand Dog. So when I heard her saying this, I'm thinking to myself, Ellie, you couldn't be more wrong. You really couldn't be more wrong if you tried. There's a lot of documentaries that I see. Yeah, she is. There's a lot of documentaries that I see on Netflix or I see on Peacock or whatever that I've never heard of these cases before. I don't know who these people are. There's no national coverage on it. It could be a small case. So don't get into the mindset that they wouldn't know who Dog is or they would never want to buy something on Sebastian. I've seen a lot of missing cases that never knew existed. I've seen a lot of missing cases that I never knew that's what happened to these people, even some in other parts of the world. So I saw one where this girl went missing and the mom, and not the mom, the private eye decided to record it and make a series. I never heard of it. I even looked up the case. So to say that Netflix wouldn't buy, Dog, when Dog is a known public figure, is ludicrous, because I think they absolutely would if they got the rights. Whether you like him or hate him, Dog is well known. Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's kind of like what's his name from Unsolved Mysteries? John Walsh. You may like John Walsh, you may not like John Walsh, but at the end of the day, you still know who he is. Same thing. So that's why I just don't understand why Ellie said that. I was really, really confused by that. Because I'm like, I wonder why she thinks that way. Because it's just not true. So that was why I said Ellie was on the hot seat. But yeah, Making a Murderer, last I knew, Making a Murderer was Netflix's biggest documentary ever to date. And it was done by two completely unknown random people. And they ended up buying, before Making a Murderer ever came out, when they were shopping around to see who they were going to sell it to, they chose Netflix. And Netflix said, okay, we'll do it if we have the rights to Brendan Dassey. They don't have the rights to Stephen Avery, but they bought Brendan Dassey's rights. And it wasn't for a lot either. A couple of $100,000 maybe. His parents were thrilled to death. So I know that what Ellie was saying, like normally if there's no, if people don't know it, but if you look at all even YouTubers, there are some great cases I've heard. I've heard some really interesting cases. And I've also seen some really interesting documentaries of missing people that I've never heard of. See, I never watched Dog. I never liked him. I always thought it was fake. He's been in trouble for using bad words, been pitched shows and getting shut down. He should take a loan from QB. I'm gonna take a loan for QB from my Mac. So all the buzz people in here, tell QB I need a loan. What? What do you want? What? I love you. I love you. Well, you can't jump in my chair with me. Give her a link and she will. Who? Ellie? Is she here? Stephen Avery is innocent. What do you want? What? 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 I'm getting dog abuse. Shirley bought you a tiger, a liger or a tiger? No, I do. I want a Mac. Because now that I'm getting into editing again, Macs are like so much easier. But I'm not like on a time limit. Like if I get it in a year, that's fine too. I'm not picky. And considering I've been banned from the community, you got 500 people watching Kathy, who is horrible. You got 400 people watch Wispy. And here's me. I want to get a Mac. All my super chat money is going to a Mac. Ow. Oh, Yarn, you didn't see my other channel. I started another channel for true crime. Come on. Why go apart? You want to fight? Come on, you want to fight? Why do dogs like fighting? There you go. Now you just ripped it apart. You want to go out? Hold on. Let me see if I can let her out. She's a pain in the ass. Wakes me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Hold on, let me hang on a second. Come on. You wanna go out? Come on. Drop the sock. No sock. No, drop it. I'm gonna have to get you a pull toy. Go. Yeah, Yarn, I started another channel that I'm doing true crime videos on. I've been working on the second video, but I've had to make candles too. So it's not, I'm trying to do it like once a week. But this one, I was going to have it done by tomorrow, but I just not. So it'll have to be Friday. I'm glad you're getting better. I need to be better. So, I'm trying to think if you missed anything else. I'm still blacklisted from the community. They all hate me. But everyone else could be forgiven. But not me. But I'm okay with it. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. All right. It's been 2 hours. The dogs are getting restless. Tomorrow night, we're going to pick up for Flavor and Nonsense because this shit is fire. Fire. And it's funny as hell. Funny as hell. It's good to see you streaming more often. I don't have a choice. I don't want to let down my subs and Patreons that I do have. Can't let, you know, YouTube's a big place. I'll regain. I'll get back to my thing. It just, the hypocrisy of bullshit. I can't, the dog's driving me nuts, Amanda. I don't think she's going to stop. I think she's going to keep bugging me. You can be 58? You are old. No. What? I'm going to be 54 soon. I'm getting old. Old. What other YouTubers does Betty bully? I mean, let's be real here. Stop. Nonsense is another holier than thou, and Flavor puts her in a place. Flavor shows her what's up. And it's fucking hysterical. Because, you know, people come from YouTube, people come from Facebook acting like they're holier than thou. Yeah, she's a pain in the ass, Amanda. Out. They come from Facebook acting like they're holier than thou. And then someone from Facebook comes with them and puts them in their place and shows them that you're not this holier than thou person, like Nonsense tries to pretend she is, you know, like calling out other people. So Flavor, I mean, Nonsense used to use a voice changer and everything. Like, who knew? I don't think any of us knew that. And then, like, she denied it and Flavor showed the truth. It's pretty funny. What do you want? But like the funniest part too is I was in Flavor's chat today, and there are people in there who are so bothered by what I did and will never come in my chat. And she'll admit she was a real big real lifer, like no joke real lifer, not just like one incident. It was like a lot of incidents. And these same people have no problem with it. I'm just like, bitch, sit down. What do you want? What? You can't come up here. What? You want to play? It's not my fault it's raining out. It is not my fault it's raining. What? I know. I love you too. I love you too. Go back there. Why are you breathing so heavy? What? All right. She is being a little nightmare. I don't know what she wants, but she won't stop bugging me. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And by the way, thank you for the Cash App. Cash Apps are also going to my Mac. Tomorrow night starts Black Friday countdown. I need to sell candles. Like, come ready for candles, because I need I need to sell candles. Like, no joke. We need money. Money. Stop. No socks. You're going to choke. You swallow a sock, you have to go to the emergency room. So, all right. I will see you beautiful people tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. We definitely need more green. I see more blue than green. And that's it. All right. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. And peace out, bean sprouts. Stop. I'm coming.